In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the pros and cons of the new TCL Stylus 5G. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the TCL Stylus 5G device. Literally just came out yesterday and was blessed enough to get it literally yesterday, the day it came out at Metro by T-Mobile. And honestly, so far I've been liking this device. I think it's a cute stylus device. I don't think it's anything crazy or anything amazing, but this device is pretty decent for the price tag, I'd say. So retail, this is a $258 phone, and I believe T-Mobile and Metro by T-Mobile are going to have many specials during the holidays and certain events that they hold, but personally I picked this up for $79.99 when I opened a new line with Metro by T-Mobile. So we're going to be going over the pros and cons I've found out about this device on the thorough 24 hours that I've been using this. So let's get straight into those. So first and foremost, the first pro I would have to say is the hardware for sure. So absolutely love the body of this device. It's kind of like a gravel black. I think it looks really, really good, honestly, and I really like the flat design of this. Really sleek, really nice looking. The other great thing about this device is it repels fingerprints. So fingerprints do not stay on this device. I feel like, you guys are gonna leave fingerprints on many other things, but definitely not this device. So for the people that want to rock this nude, I think you guys are okay with that. Really do love that this phone doesn't have a reflective back. I think way too many budget phones have reflective backs, and I just don't like reflective backs. They look pretty, but they don't look pretty after, a minute of touching them. So yeah, really like what they used on this. The other treats that we got on this phone obviously have to be the 3.5mm headphone jack. So we didn't move on from that. TCL wasn't too good to provide that in their device. So big ups to you, TCL, for that, because these are some essential things for people, and this is a little bit older hardware, but a lot of people really want a 3.5mm headphone jack. So great that you put that on here as well. We also get the option of expanding memory via micro SD card, so we can put our SD card inside of there as well as our SIM at the same time. We also have a fingerprint sensor on the right side of the phone, and it's going to be on the power button. So we don't have a bionic fingerprint sensor, but I really do like those side mounted fingerprint sensors, and it's one of the things I love about this phone. Now, the second pro I have about this phone have to be the custom applications with the stylus. Honestly, just to go ahead and add this in here, but the latency really surprised me about this phone. We have Nebo application on here as well, but we have a bunch of custom applications specifically for this TCL device, and they work really well, honestly. All of them work great. The Nebo application is preloaded on the TCL Stylus 5G. It's usually about a $12 application in the Play Store, so it's great that we added it on here. But we also have some amazing latency on this phone. Another great little tiny thing I want to show you before you guys get this phone. So if the phone is off, you guys can just pop out the stylus right here, and as you guys see, we have that animation through there, and we can draw on here. But as I was saying, the latency for it not being an S Pen, super accurate. This is really, really good, man. Like, really good stylus right here. Like, honestly, super impressed with this so far. Good latency, good custom applications that we get in here. So really solid stylus experience on this device so far. Another pretty cool pro is that this device launches with Android 12. So at that price tag, that was pretty impressive, because I've seen some other devices release with Android 11 this year, and I'm sure you guys know what devices I'm talking about. This comes with Android 12 preloaded on it. We do have one major operating system update on this device and 2 security updates on this device as well. So that is what we're getting as far as updates on this device. But I feel like you guys are going to be able to use this phone for a few years, and I think around that price tag, I feel like that's a pretty decent duration on a $250 investment. So I feel like you'd be able to use this phone for the next 3 years, 4 years possibly. So yeah, we have some decent software updates, and thankfully we have a major OS update as well, obviously. And that leads us into our fourth pro, and that has to be that this is low cost. So this device is $258. It has 5G inside of it. 128 gigabytes of internal storage, 4 gigs of RAM, Dimensity 700 processor. I know that's not that amazing. We have NFC in this device as well, and we have a stylus. So I feel like obviously on this market right now with Android 12, this is the cheapest stylus device out right now, and for a lot of people this will be the only option for them because everything else other than this device is the Moto G Stylus 5G, and that's going to be about $500 retail. So this is going to be the cheapest device as far as retail goes, and I feel like it's a very fair price, honestly. Fifth pro about this device has to be that we have stereo speakers on this device. So we do have a speaker on the bottom right there, and we also have a headset that doubles as a speaker. So grateful that we have that on this phone, and you guys are going to get some very, very loud sound on this device. It is going to have a little bit of a tin, but honestly it's not as bad as many other devices I've seen around this price tag, and I feel like for the most part you guys are going to have a pretty clear experience. And the sixth pro about this phone has to be that this has NFC. If you guys did not know already, if you turn that on, we can utilize certain applications that obviously utilize NFC, like Google Pay. So if you guys would like to pay cashless at like Target or something like that and just tap your phone at one of the cash registers, you guys have that option. And now getting into the cons about this device. Now there aren't really too many cons. I just have 3 right here, and we're going to start off with the first one. But we're going to do a full review on this phone, so stay tuned and hit that notification bell if you guys want to see more content on the TCL Stylus 5G, because I'm going to get a bit deeper in this phone as far as like the processor and all of that and gaming and stuff. So this is what I've seen in the last 24 hours. The first con being low light photos are grainy and washed out. And the selfie camera isn't great on this device either. As you guys can see, this is a pretty washed out photo. If you see at the bottom of the phone, it kind of has this little green hue, and that entire shirt is black. And I'm tan, and it looks like I'm a vampire right here. So definitely washed out. Even in the background, you can see the saturation is a little bit different. It's doing some weird stuff with my hair. I don't have that light of hair. I have dark brown hair, but okay. And yeah, selfie camera just doesn't do a great job on this phone. And then low light photos, even with the rear facing camera, don't do an amazing job or as good as a job as I thought. So kind of lackluster in that area. Number 2, and this obviously is the elephant in the room, this has a MediaTek processor, so we're going to be using the Dimensity 700 chipset. Now I haven't had much experience with this chipset so far, but looking online and looking at a bunch of different videos, it's going to be a lower end processor, of course, but we're going to see how well this phone is optimized for this chipset. And we're going to see what happens in gaming. That's where I'm really interested at, and see if this phone heats up and all that good stuff. So we're going to be doing a gaming video on this phone soon, and we're going to be putting this really through the ringer soon, and we're going to give you a full review on this. But MediaTek processor, Dimensity 700, it matches the price tag, but do we really want that processor in here? We're gonna go more in depth on that later on. And the third con about this phone has to be that this only has a 60 hertz display, so a refresh rate doesn't go up to 90 or 120 hertz. We don't have any of those options. I would have loved that at least went with 90, but if you guys had a 90 or 120 hertz phone and you guys are going down to a 60 hertz phone, honestly I feel like most of you are going to be pleased with the device because the display actually does look really good. It's just I'm coming from a 120 hertz display, and this just seems slow to me, honestly. So, phone and operating system and UI runs smoothly, but the refresh rate is definitely a little weird when you go down from 90 or 120. So I thought I'd just leave that out as a warning. I don't think it's really a con. I feel like it's more of a preference, but I feel like most people prefer a higher refresh rate. So those are the cons I have on the TCL Stylus 5G so far. If you guys have this device, let me know in the comment section down below what are your pros and cons. But other than that, I love you guys so much. Hopefully this video did offer you some value on picking up your next device. But this has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.